Hello BookTube, hope you're all doing well. Today I'm coming at you with a book review. I recently read the debut novel Sleeping Giants by Sylvain Neuvel. It is an adult science fiction book. Part 2 to the series is already out and it's called Waking Gods. The story begins when a little girl named Rose Franklin is riding her bike and she ends up riding it into a big crater. Inside the crater was a giant hand that she fell inside of. It was really strange for that hand to be there, nobody knew why it was there. Rose Franklin grew up to become a highly trained physicist, but she was fascinated with what the hand was doing there and where it came from. So she ends up becoming part of a team that seeks to find the other parts, because obviously if there's a hand, there has to be other parts to it, right? The book is interesting and similar to World War Z and Illuminae, being that it's told through interviews and reports. After finishing the book, I've gone back and I've read reviews from different people, and there seems to be a common trend. And one was that the people who actually listen to the audiobook tend to rate it higher than those that actually read the book. Because it's told in interviews and reports, I think reading it goes by really quickly, and that may distort the pacing a little bit. If you're reading an interview, then essentially what you're reading is dialogue. Some people suggested that the characters just didn't feel deep enough, and I didn't get that impression at all. If you're even considering reading this book, I highly, highly recommend the audiobook because it is performed by an entire cast, and not just that it's an entire cast, but it's an entire cast of exceptional actors. I think that may have made a world of difference, especially when we're talking about the characters not being deep enough. The way each character played their role, there are certain things that you pick up by how they speak and what attitude they project that you may not get while reading the interviews in the book. Even listening to the audiobook at 1.5 speed or 1.25, at no point did I feel like the pacing went too quickly or things developed too quickly. Sure, there's big jumps in time in regards to where one interview happened and then the next followed up, but it wasn't very difficult to me to fill in the gaps. Throughout the book, there's a single interviewer and you don't ever get to know his name. And anytime the interviewees start to ask him questions, he deflects and he turns it back to them. Sometimes he'll give them a little hint of something, but for the most part, he doesn't want to talk about himself. It's about the project, it's about finding out information from them, and he refocuses that constantly. The interviewer can be a little douchey at times, but when hearing his voice and hearing his attitude, there is a humor there that might be missed when you're reading it. As the people involved in the project discover more, there ends up being a lot of political ramifications. I know this book came out a little bit ago, but it was really interesting reading it now during the current political climate. It's also interesting to see where the author may have thought things were going politically at the time of writing this book. One other thing that I heard people mention was how the interviewers seemed very cold, calculated, and emotionless. And while I do agree that that was often the case, I'm really hoping that the next book gives us a reason for that. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't wait to read Waking Gods. Have you read Sleeping Giants? Did you actually read the book, or did you listen to the audiobook? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.